Hello Tigers, how are you today? Welcome to your lesson in reading and writing for today. So we're going to talk about two things. The first thing we're going to talk about is that we're going to start to learn about fairy tales. Okay, that is a genre, just like biography or narrative nonfiction or regular fiction. It's a kind of a book, okay? So what is a fairy tale? So a fairy tale is a make-believe story about magic and enchantment. Fairy tales often include the opening Once Upon a Time. They have magic and enchantment in them. They're about royalty. There's often wicked characters, otherwise known as a villain, sometimes more than one villain. There's also very nice characters, characters that only do good. And then they get a reward for that goodness, okay? And they always end with happily ever after. So those are kind of the things that you can tell make a fairy tale a fairy tale. In your Google Classroom this week, you'll see, or today I should say, you'll see that I posted a Google slideshow that I made about fairy tales, okay? And it looks like this. Sorry, I'm having so much trouble positioning this for you guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to read through it. It's basically telling you the information that I just told you, but I also gave you some examples of fairy tales. So like Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, Snow White, Jack and the Beanstalk, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella. Okay, those are all examples. And then again, it's just going to repeat the information that I gave you. So I just want you guys to read through this slideshow. Okay, later on in the week, we're going to do some things about it. You're going to actually write on your own Google slide, but not for today, okay? So today you're just going to read the beginning part of it for me, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to go on YouTube, and I put a link, again, everything you need is always going to be in Google Classroom, to a YouTube reading of Disney's Cinderella. So this is just a very traditional Cinderella story. And then I want you to give me your opinion about it. Now, what is an opinion? An opinion is when you say something you liked, something you didn't like. And your opinion might have to do with what your favorite of something is, or maybe what your least favorite of something is, okay? Those are opinions. And we're going to do some opinion writing, which is known as persuasive writing, because what I'm going to teach you is that good writers of their opinion often will persuade somebody to think like they're thinking, okay? So, in order to get that going for us, let's take a look at this graphic organizer that I have hanging on the wall over here. So it's an opinion writing graphic organizer. Now you know a graphic organizer helps us to organize our work, okay? And I call this a hamburger because we have at the top bun, which is when you state your opinion, which is when you say, I love sunny weather. Or when you say, Massachusetts is the best state to live in, okay? This is where you state your opinion. Then you move down to the cheese. How many of you guys like cheese on your cheeseburgers? I do. So you're going to move down to the cheese, and you're going to give your first reason. Now, these are reasons that Mrs. Bruin does not allow. You cannot say that something is fun. You cannot say something is good, or bad, or nice. Why do you think that is? Remember when we learned about powerful language? Well, this is where you also want to have some powerful language, okay? So some things that you want to persuade me. So you want to use language that's going to make me rethink and say, I kind of understand what you're talking about. So the first slice is your reason one. Then we move down to your pickles, if you like pickles on your burger, or lettuce on your burger, which is your reason two. Here's the patty, which, believe it or not, is my least favorite part of a cheeseburger, but whatever. So here's the patty, that's your third reason. And then the bottom bun, you're going to restate your opinion. So you're just going to say your opinion again. And sometimes you can add, it's better to add some language like, these are the reasons why, or this is why my opinion is, and you restate it. And the reason you want to restate it is so that it's the very last thing that the person that read your persuasive paragraph reads. And that's what sticks with them, okay? So, what are you going to write your opinion on today? Well, you're going to write your opinion on whether or not you liked the read aloud Cinderella, okay? So after you read it, I want you to think about if you liked it or not. On your Google Classroom, you will find, I'm going to walk you back over to my computer here, you will find that I gave you a graphic organizer that looks like this. Okay, it's going to say Opinion Writing Graphic Organizer, and it just gives you, again, that visual or that picture. Hold on, guys, I'm sorry. Mrs. Bruin's having a terrible time lining this up for you. Okay, of the hamburger. Can you see that okay? Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Let me go to view. Full screen. Maybe this will be a little bit better. Can you see that? Okay, so that, the only trouble is you can't actually write on this hamburger, so underneath, I put it in again for you. It's got all the same things, it just doesn't have the little hamburger. So state your opinion, your first reason, your second reason, your third reason, and you can type right on it, okay? So, you might say, let's see if Mrs. Bruin can. Use my water. Okay. Now if I turn this a little bit, you can see a little bit. I loved the Disney version. A version is like a kind, because Disney wrote this one. Of Cinderella. Okay. Does that sound very strong? I mean, I used the word loved instead of liked, but I think I can make it even stronger. I really loved the Disney version of Cinderella. Okay, so maybe this made it just a little bit stronger. But I could also say, and I think, or and I know you would too. Okay, so what's my first reason? Well, my first reason I love this is because the stepsisters are very funny because they are always getting into mischief and they think they are wonderful, and they are not. So I always think that they provide like a little bit of funniness. That's not really a word. A little bit of, it makes me laugh. So my second reason is I enjoyed the part when they had to look for Cinderella by trying on her glass slipper. Okay? And my third reason is because I loved the magic of the fairy godmother. Okay, and then my conclusion sentence, remember, is then when you just restate it, right? So I'm gonna say, these are all the reasons why I loved Cinderella. Okay, now, you have a choice. You can type right on that graphic organizer like I did, but you don't have to tomorrow. If tomorrow you think that you just want to give this a go and not use the graphic organizer, that's okay. This is your have to part though. Your have to part is going to be to go into the Google Doc that I set up and then write your paragraph. So just make sure that your paragraph has, the first sentence should be stating your opinion. The next 3 sentences are 3 different reasons why. And then the last one is just restating that opinion again, okay? So I know this is a lot of information for you, but the great thing is you can watch this again and again, and you could probably find all the mistakes that Mrs. Bruin just made in the last 11 and a half minutes, but this was my very first video lesson. I've never done this before in my life, so I hope you enjoyed it. And please, you can always message me. Have mom and dad message me with any questions you have. And that's it, guys. All right, so enjoy Cinderella, okay? Bye-bye.